Mafia, are you ready?
He said, are you ready?
This is Brotherly Love Wrestling Podcast, your first stop for everything professional wrestling. So sit back and enjoy wrestling talk at its finest with your hosts, Larry Hall and Joe Corrado.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Brotherly Love Wrestling Podcast, the premier podcast about wrestling and all things of the sort. Body slams, choke slams, something other slams, sidewalk slams, all the slams. We're slamming them. This is why you don't let me do the intro, because I go off on a tangent first thing, but we are here. Just for a regular show, a normal show, so to speak, as normal as we could possibly make it. With us, our executive director, producer, janitor, custodial extraordinaire, Bill Fry. Welcome, Bill.
What's up?
Now, we've all admittedly come to the conclusion before we started this that we haven't been fully tapped into the current product of professional wrestling right now. So, you may be wondering, how are they going to put on a wrestling podcast? If it's your first time listening, let us assure you that we are really good at bullshitting about wrestling. And those that have listened and watched numerous times, you know that this is going to be nothing less than obnoxious. So, with that being said, Larry, you're up.
I was going to say, it took 2 minutes before I even had to speak, and this is the guy that didn't want to talk the whole time.
I know, I gotta put it out there.
I was about to say, he was talking about riling him up, and he riled himself up for the intro.
That's okay, though. I'm good at what I do. I already told this. I already let everyone know that we're really good at this.
So, we'll start where the releases are, and WWE released another 14 people this week. Some pretty surprising names, just like it always is, and you have a Tyler Breeze and a Fandango, of course. For us, personally, and Joe's wearing this shirt, August Gray, a.k.a. Anthony Green, got cut, which is, I think, a big loss to WWE. But
can I stop you there for a second?
Yeah.
I was thinking about this on my way over, and I could see them doing this with August Gray, a.k.a. Anthony Green. And because of his character and kind of like how I could see them turning him into the next Adam Rose or fucking who was the other dude? Jose.
No way, Jose. Yes.
I could see him like walking that line of where they just make him a complete joke.
Yeah, full
and
gimmick.
He never wins or does anything of value. So I'm kind of okay. I'm okay with the releases. Not so much in a like, look, they lost their job. It sucks, but.
Obviously.
I feel like we're getting lucky. For those that watch the independents or any other non-WWE wrestling, I feel like we're getting lucky and we're getting gifted like top tier independent talent on these shows that could potentially show up. Mm-hmm. And there's probably going to be some that'll show up even in Impact, which could be a swing. Because Impact doesn't have me right now. It doesn't have you right now. Yep. Bill, do I speak for you as well? It doesn't have you right now. I feel like that whole Kenny Omega thing kind of like popped quick and then faded and fizzled.
That was a big roller coaster right to the top, dropped down, and never came back up.
But that's the thing is that
for
it's
us
still going. Yeah, it's still going. The next big match is Sami Callihan versus Kenny Omega. I mean, it's still going on. It's just it lost us immediately.
It did
immediately.
It really did.
I'm honestly just pissed off at WWE for screwing up my prediction. Because I totally had Samoa Joe going back to Impact to challenge Kenny Omega, and then all of a sudden he shows up on NXT again.
Well, look, Hunter knows when people are valuable and people he doesn't want to lose. Obviously, Joe is one of those people.
And true, and I get that, but honestly, in the case of someone like August Gray, Anthony Green, I think a lot of this is basically them going, hey, nobody watches 205 Live. Let's get rid of that.
Yeah, the whole roster.
What do they even have it? They have it on Hulu, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your first. They
wipe,
don't even have it on your network.
They wipe out as much as they can at 205 Live.
Pretty much
And
all of them.
Obviously, the Cruiserweight title is being featured recently with Kyle O'Reilly versus Kushida as a main event on NXT. I mean, it's, they had like the ladder match recently to crown the new Cruiserweight champion, the true Cruiserweight champion, and then to put it on Kushida, who they've been strapping a rocket to. I think they're going to move the 205 Live guys that they want to move over to NXT to feature the Cruiserweight belt. And then people Brian Kendrick is still listed as a 205 Live wrestler, but he's producing for SmackDown.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's just getting rid of 205 Live and then trimming the fat. Now, in this instance, the one that I am pissed off most about is Tyler Breeze. But that's because the only thing WWE related that I consistently watch is Up, Up, Down, Down.
Okay.
And Uno every week on Wednesdays, Battle of the Brands on Thursdays. He's featured in, I think somebody did a count, and he's featured in 95% of the videos.
Yeah, but I think
that have
that's
occurred in the past 2 years.
Because Up, Up, Down, Down is owned by WWE, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he probably, contractually,
Now,
will he be allowed to, or can he still do that?
Now, here's the thing. So, Jessamine Duke got released.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she's still appearing on the BRE Start sections of it. She has a contract for content creator under Up, Up, Down, Down. So, theoretically, Tyler Breeze could still appear. But
probably until he signs somewhere else.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the thing, is that once he does sign somewhere else, or he may not, what a lot of people don't realize is Tyler Breeze may not wrestle. I was watching his Twitch stream where he's got
a school too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Spears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flatbacks Wrestling.
Yes.
Now, not only that, but he's also really into real estate. Like, owns multiple houses in the Tampa area that he could reliably do real estate and flatbacks and be able to continue his life as he knows it. So he doesn't need to wrestle again, and he made that clear in a Q&A on his Twitch stream that he doesn't need to wrestle again, and he's been basically wrestling because he loves to do it. So
I will say this about I think out of all the current releases that just happened this past week, I think Breezango is my favorite people that got released, just because they were so damn entertainment. They were entertaining on New Day levels. Like,
Look, the funny thing is with that, they are the hosts of the 50 greatest tag teams in WWE history, which the last 5 still haven't even aired yet. They are milking this list, by the way. I've been watching it faithfully every week. And it first did the first 25, and I'm like, all right, next 25. No. No, now it was the next 15. And then it was, all right, now 5 more. And I'm like, just give me 5 to 1. You're
my God,
killing
what
me.
are they booking this list like The Fiend?
But
they're just going to drag it out for 6 years?
The list was it's really well done. And it's pretty well thought out. Like, and it's everything that you could think of in a tag team. But it's great. But those two are another reason it's great, because you have their chemistry, them messing around with all the WWE stuff from the archive. It's really good series. And they're the faces of it. Now they're both gone.
There was a time where they were the only thing worth watching on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Fashion Police?
Mm-hmm. Fashion Police, the Fashion Files,
yeah.
that whole thing.
Yep.
I mean, there was a 8-month period where they were pretty much it on SmackDown.
Yeah, you're right.
That was the one that made the least sense. Like, and mind you, when Fandango got there, he beat Chris Jericho at WrestleMania.
Yes, his first match.
Yeah, like
his first match was at WrestleMania against Jericho and won.
He had the Rocket strapped to him.
Well, you know what it was? The Raw after Mania killed his push.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Him coming out and having the match and the entire crowd
Yes.
singing the song.
Yeah.
And then it continued into the Cena Mark Henry match, and it continued into the Randy Orton Sheamus match. I mean, then it's the same thing that happened with Dillinger Spears with the 10 count.
Yeah.
It started taking over,
Rusev
and
Day.
they featured him less to kill the chance off.
Yeah, Zack Ryder. All of them. All those guys, they had that moment to where they got over, but not the way the WWE wanted them to get over, so we got to take this away.
Yeah. And that,
The only things that stuck,
and of course it was
were
Jersey.
yes.
Yeah.
It was Jersey that killed it. Because Jersey kills everything that's worth enjoying.
I mean, if we're gonna just go out and bury Jersey, they are the armpit of America.
Yes. Yep.
So I mean, they asked for it 99.9% of the times. It's just a fact. Did you?
Yeah.
Can you turn your head one more time for us?
So, are you're pointing out the ponytail?
Well, I'm definitely not looking at the low key for president thing. I'm looking at what's poking out of your hat.
Yes.
What is
Yes. Hair?
Whose?
Mine?
Why?
Thank you.
Maybe I'm just a huge Adam Cole mark.
You just want your wife to like you more than Adam Cole. That's why.
Well, that's not gonna happen.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
that's pretty much it.
No.
She met Adam Cole when we were at that one.
Oh, yeah,
show
I was
that
with
we
you.
went to.
She
I
was
know, I got
dumbfounded.
you-
She couldn't get a
I
word
know.
out.
I got you in the line.
Yes. Clutch, by the way. Yes.
And yes, we were second in line.
Are you taller
And,
than Adam Cole?
Yes, I am taller than Adam Cole.
Yes.
It was very weird
Yes.
to walk up to Adam Cole and be looking down and be like this.
Jen,
I love Adam Cole. That's not a diss, but he is. He's small.
Those larger than life personalities just aren't
Jen looked
larger
him
than
in
Larry.
the eye.
Yes. Yeah. Yes,
So
exactly.
that means he's as tall as me.
Yeah,
Just
pretty
about,
much.
yeah.
I could have done this shit.
We've said this 1,000, or you've said this 1,000 times.
I probably could have at this point.
Yeah. But nonetheless, no, it's
Where the hell were we at, and how did we get here?
You point out the hair.
No, how did we? Yeah, I know, I understand that and Adam Cole thing, but where were we? What were we talking
We
about?
were talking about the releases.
Oh, wow.
We went a
we
long
went,
way.
we went really
we're talking
long.
about Fandango getting his push killed by Jersey.
Yeah, just kept kind of going with there.
Yeah.
But anyway, one release I did want to talk about that I think a lot of people were talking about over a 48-hour period, give or take, and that's this Kenise Mobley, who was a comedian, stand-up comedian, and a writer for a TV writer that the WWE hired, which is fine. But then she goes on a podcast, I think it's called Asian or Not Asian, is the podcast she went on, and then admitted to not knowing anything about professional wrestling, calling the world champion Bobby Ashley, not knowing, first of all, how to even spell the word heel, and misspelling the word heel in wrestling to H-E-A-L, as in to heal a wound.
Not gonna lie, I've done that a couple times too.
But aside from that, it's just coming out and saying, I know nothing about this, and they don't care that I know nothing about this, and they're paying me 3 times what I was making before. It's a completely horrible look for the WWE when you hire a person like with this.
That's all they hire, though. I mean,
But-
let's face it. They don't hire people that are wrestling fans. Half of these people, no,
I mean,
no.
Freddie Prinze Jr. wrote for Raw.
You're
for
going
a
to take
long
the
time,
one exception?
and he was a huge wrestling fan.
All right. To play
And
devil's
then there was
advocate on
dude
the
that
wrestling
Randy
fan.
Orton put his dick in his hand.
Anyway,
But, you know.
no. To play devil's advocate on everyone being a wrestling fan, I don't agree it should be that either. Because when the fuck do wrestling fans ever know what they really want? And
No.
that's the thing. I want people that know what the product is, what they are going in there for, what the business is.
She's only been there for like fucking 2 weeks.
No, she was only there for 2 days. She
Oh,
was
okay.
hired
I got
on the podcast and then released.
Yeah, so I got the 2 right. So that's ridiculous. So if I'm WWE, here's what I do. Okay, this person definitely doesn't understand how we operate. It probably was not told to her how we operate, and we haven't background checked it if she even knows the product. Or we did, and we just said, fuck it anyway. So here's what they do. She comes out and she says she doesn't know the product. You fire her. Here's what you should have done. You don't know the product? Okay, we're going to get you to at least show you what the product is, why you should want to work here. Here, we're going to show you our product. We're not going to force you to watch tape and all that shit, but here, you're going to come to a live show. You're going to see how we operate. You've been with us for 2 days.
To play devil's advocate here.
You're both playing the wrong devil.
I know.
Because I'm going to squash it both.
Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
So, wrestling writers for Raw
yes,
have been terrible
Obviously.
for a
Okay.
long time.
Yeah.
They might have brought her in specifically because she didn't know the product.
But wait.
To get a different perspective.
Knowing the product is a different thing.
she was a comedy writer, right?
Yes, which is fine. Being a
Which
TV
is
writer
not
and
who
being
was
a stand-up comedian.
Who was a woman.
Yes.
The women have
who is who is a African American
I'm
woman
not
bringing
even-
diversity? No.
No.
Because you need diversity in that writing room, so you have someone representing you in the
fine.
writing room.
I agree with that. But what I'm saying is that the women's division on Raw, especially, has been atrocious. Has been terribly rich. She could have come in and put at least some creativity into the women.
Yes.
They need that.
Yeah.
So why not give her a chance? Get her educated on the product and not fire her.
I don't think that was the problem. 1 second, Bill. I don't think that was the problem. I think it was exposing the WWE and making... It's all about perception with the WWE. And the perception that she put off... First of all, you see why people aren't allowed to go on podcasts. You see why they control them so much and so hard for independent podcasts to would ever get a WWE superstar is because of this right here. It's not a good look that your new hire... It makes your company look that bad as saying they're going to pay me triple the amount and told me I don't need to know anything about wrestling. It makes the wrestling company look bad that she's saying that. Now that they did it, I'm fine with that. They hired her. I want different minds other than just a wrestling fan, but
There's been
it's
guys
the
that have
look.
come out and said, I know nothing about wrestling. I'm here because I'm an athlete. Like, there's people that come from all walks of sport.
But they're not the ones putting out creative. They just go in there a machine.
They're the performers.
All you need to do is be athletic and know what you're doing in the ring. They're telling a story back there.
Okay, and what the hell did her going on a podcast have to do with a story?
It's the bad look. That's what it is. And she's brand new, so it's easy
They
to get
put
rid of
on
her.
3 hours roughly a week of bad product, and they're worried about someone going out there.
Here's the thing.
I'm not defending WWE by that.
WWE projects itself as a globally known brand. If their
I get it.
champion, the face of the company, is not globally recognized by even one of their own writers, it makes them look idiotic.
Even though we all know they look very idiotic every Monday night. We
Yes.
get that.
You
But
can
the
look at
thing
their
is-
numbers aren't great. Like, people that are of a certain age and whatnot don't watch wrestling. There's numerous people that don't watch wrestling.
Yeah, but that's not just because it's WWE. Look at Dynamite is not putting up the greatest numbers either.
I'm defending her. I'm saying, if you don't watch wrestling, what the fuck does it matter at this point?
I agree. I don't think it matters, and I don't think they all should know the product inside and out when you're a writer. I get that.
2 days isn't enough to fire someone over a podcast. Over a fucking podcast.
Look, they've cut people for a lot more petty shit than that. So
I get that.
I'm not really surprised.
I understand that. And I get it. It's a business. Everything's a business. And but 2 days? All right, can we get past this?
Of course we can.
Can we get to something of more
All right.
upbeat?
So how about AEW last week?
I said upbeat.
Come on, man. You can't be that negative about AEW. First of all, that main event, Jungle Boy Kenny Omega, was very, very well done. Very, obviously, suspenseful match because of all the near falls.
Yes, but they didn't have me like they had me with the triple threat. Like, I already went into this knowing that the title isn't changing hands. Like, I knew it.
Yeah,
like,
but
I knew that it wasn't because
most of the fans in attendance probably knew that as well, but it didn't stop people from investing in the match. Or did it stop you from investing? Could you not invest in the match because of that?
I could watch the match, and I appreciated the match. It was a good match, but knowing the end spoils, like, the last 5 minutes because I'm not jumping in. I'm not
you
jumping.
Just described if WWE is not building to a major pay-per-view, you just described 98% of their matches. Did you honestly believe Cesaro was going to beat Roman Reigns? Or?
I'm in 100. Here will be my reasoning behind that. I'm on 100% agreement with you on that concept alone of predictability in big matches and why you're not as invested, because the element of surprise is pretty much at an all-time low for wrestling. I mean, we are older, so I attribute that to it, like watching it for so long and being 30-something years old.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I attribute that to kind of seeing it before. Like, we've seen almost everything there is to see in wrestling, so you're just like, all right, well, I know. Now we're kind of just going through the motions as fans, which is a problem in itself.
True. Yeah, true.
Because there should be an element of surprise still in wrestling. That's, like, almost the biggest fun in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so much the matches, the big time matches. It's like the surprises.
Yeah.
The only thing that I've watched within the past couple years, that not including major pay-per-views where it's obvious there's a chance of a title change, that has actually kept me on the edge of my seat repeatedly for every match they put on, was every match that Walter has defended his title. So, yeah, every match that Walter has defended his title, just about. Dragunov, Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne. I mean, those types of matches,
I can't speak
you
to it
can
because I haven't
legitimately
watched.
believe.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. He always has the big match feel. And even though, like we said, he may go up against guys where you think, oh, man, he's going to kill this guy. But doesn't matter whether you think he's going to win or lose.
But here's the thing. There's always a build for his matches. There's always, like, something.
True.
I mean, for what we were talking about, the Kenny Omega Jungle Boy match.
Yeah.
And the one that you compared it to, the Cesaro and Roman, I agree with you that I didn't think Cesaro was going to win. I didn't think. There might have been a 0.01% chance that I hoped that he was going to win, but I knew he wasn't. The difference between the two of why I can watch one, I think it's better than the other, is that I like Roman. I like Cesaro. I like Jungle Boy for the most part. I don't care for Omega. I don't care for Omega's character. I'm beating a dead horse at this point. I don't think he's entertaining. He might be good in the ring, but I know that once he steps out of that ring, I'm going to just completely turn him off. And I do that. If he's speaking and doing promos, turn it off. He's not good. And I do the same thing now with the Young Bucks because they're not good at this character that they're doing. And that's my opinion. There's people that
absolutely love it.
That absolutely love it. And that's fine. That's great. I don't care if you love it or hate it. That as long as you are watching, that's fine.
I mean, theoretically, let's be honest, Jungle Boy was the real winner.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely.
We saw the pictures, and Twitter's annoying. Twitter's annoying in that sense too, where everyone's just stealing the pictures and be like, "Oh my God, yay! Oh my God, yes! I love it! Yes, Queen! Yes, King!" I hate social media and this generation, but I will save that for our other show, yada yada yada, and you're gonna want to tune into that next week.
Cheap plug.
But it's just that. I think that's part of it. Why wrestling, mainstream wrestling, I just have toned out, and I've tuned. It's just that the constant bickering between AEW and WWE. Look, neither one of you are lighting the world on fire. Neither one of you are that good. It's like saying, who's the prettiest turd right now? Like, neither one of you are doing something that's unbelievable and pulling in these miraculous numbers, and you're doing something great or different. Like we said that. Oh, so this was going to be an alternative. AEW was the change that was promised. ROH was the change that was delivered. We were promised change. We got nothing. We got a cheap knockoff version of WWE. And not even good WWE. I mean, they've run the same thing 3 times now. The Stadium Stampede.
Yeah, but at least it even though they're running it, first of all, twice, but at least
they were
it's
so long it felt like 3.
It's at least it's different, It's something that WWE hasn't done. I mean,
They've done
you have the
cinematic.
empty. No, I'm not saying cinematic. They've done the empty arena match with Rock and Mankind. But other than that, Stadium Stampede, the way they've done these last two,
They're fighting.
especially this
They're
last
just
one,
fighting in different parts of the stadium. Yeah, that's exactly what WWE did for Money in the Bank last year,
They did Edge versus Randy that way.
yeah.
and they did it better.
Oh well, Edge versus Randy, of course. I mean,
Well, that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. The stories are still better in WWE, albeit there's a lot that are bad. But I mean, we didn't really get anything that's different. I mean, we got a company crossover that was kind of like a park crossover. Like it would have been nice by now to know if they were going to actually commit to this. Like they ran 3 shows on Saturday night as a feeler for their Saturday night Rampage.
Friday nights.
Friday night Rampage. They ran 3 test runs on Friday night because of the
Because
NBA
of the
playoffs.
playoffs, yeah.
They did shitty numbers, but they're still going to go out with it. Like, I mean, wouldn't it have been just as good to run maybe this cross-promotional angle for 3 to 4 weeks, where it was like you would get a good mesh of,
Oh, you mean
we
with
have
Impact?
like 4 or 5. Yeah, Impact
Okay.
actually came over to,
AEW, yeah.
and it wasn't just the Good Brothers.
yeah.
Like, I feel like that's the crossover that we should have gotten. Like, we should have got it going both ways, and we got Omega going over there to
So
take.
rebooking the invasion angle.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
No, not even running an invasion angle. Just a look. If you want to be progressive and whatnot, look, we're coming out. We're challenging you guys, and not an angle. Just we want your best. We'll put out our best and kind of run a couple month-long thing where it leads to a big pay-per-view, and it's a big clash of a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't that sound better than just sending Omega over there to win the Impact title and then defend it and probably win it again against Sami Callihan? Or if Callahan wins it, what does he become, like, VP of Impact or something?
I don't know.
Because wasn't he fired by Callis?
Who? Who was fired
Callahan.
by Callis? Yeah,
But then he was reinstated because Callis got fired, I believe.
by Tommy. Tommy
Yeah.
Dreamer is the new.
So instead of mucking it up and WWEing the shit out of it and making it confusing, doesn't mine sound just a little bit better?
a little bit, yeah.
It doesn't sound a little bit better where they go toe-to-toe and you actually...
I could put 5 chimps in a room with a typewriter and come out with better writing than Raw in most cases. So rebooking things is only so impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I know, I get it. Hindsight's 20/20, but I mean, isn't that why you pay these writers to not make that first mistake?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Or you don't. Or you,
They've made first, second, third. I could keep counting, but I'd run out of fingers and toes mistakes.
I mean, it sucks because I want to keep current with mainstream wrestling, but it cuts into my independent. I really should just flip that and just watch independent wrestling and just...
Dude, you can watch a 9-minute video of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I know. And I still try
and you won't
tune
miss
in.
anything.
Like tonight, there's a show called by Camp Leapfrog called Killian Vision
Yes,
at 10 o'clock
at
on
10 o'clock.
IWTV.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to try and watch that because I haven't gotten a good independent wrestling fix in a while. Like, I haven't watched a full show in a while, and I feel like it will take my... Like, it'll get me because right now, I'm, like, kind of in limbo with, like, everything. Once the Sixers ended, I was like, oh, fuck. And I'm waiting for wrestling to pick me back up and be like, get me reinvested, and it hasn't done it.
I think it will, though. I think it will. I think
once
the fans back
the fans
will
coming
do
back,
it.
I think the gear shifts because WWE, you have Money in the Bank, which I love. I do love Money in the Bank. Didn't like it so much last year, but that's not their fault. And then they got SummerSlam,
Yeah.
which, I mean, you're going back to back really good. AEW, I think with the fans back, I think it will get better. If they, I mean, they have the right people highlighted. Like Eddie Kingston, really, really good. I love Orange Cassidy, obviously. Their women's division is starting to pick up, like, really, really well. I think Britt Baker finally winning. I think that was good for them because I think she should have won it a while ago.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, there are a lot of good things. Like, right now, I do not like Matt Hardy Christian. I just don't. Like, I'm getting to the point of where I think Matt Hardy is trying to do too much where he should be doing a lot less. And I didn't think I'd be saying that about Matt Hardy, but he's running just he's running the same version of different versions of himself.
The problem with that is Jericho said it himself. With all this happening and all the signings, we're not going to give you the same WWE matches that you saw 20 times in WWE. But you're giving us Christian and Matt Hardy.
Yeah, well, we saw it 20 times in TNA. I mean, he wasn't wrong.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing.
Well, we also saw it 20 times in WWE.
Yeah, just maybe not as singles, but, I mean, still, same. Like, I don't know. I love Christian. I love Matt Hardy.
I don't want them to...
I really could care less to see them
against
each other.
Big Money Matt as a manager, just stay as a manager.
Yes.
Just stay as a manager and elevate Private Party and the other tag team. I always forget their name. The guys that dress in the lime green and black. Oh, man. I'll never get hired for AEW.
TH2?
THC?
No.
We're going to go with
don't
THC.
Do that. No, we're not going to go with that. I think it's TH2. Am I wrong, Bill? I cannot remember their...
There you go. Me and Bill can't write.
No.
We don't know the products.
I hope I'm right.
Larry's got the best shot.
I know more about the THC product than I do about the AEW product.
There we go. Let's write about that.
Coming soon.
Sponsored. The next show, THC, sponsored by Matt Riddle.
Well, look. Hey, speaking of Matt Riddle.
I'm the king of the segue.
Actually, we could get RVD's rolling papers to...
Yes.
To sponsor. And actually, believe it or not...
oh my God, is he going to pull it out?
I hope so. This was all for nothing.
RVD.
There it is.
Rolling papers.
Back it up
right
off
here.
the camera a little bit.
Back up a little bit.
Yeah, the RVD 420 rolling papers.
There you go.
32 longs. King slim size.
Where do I go?
Sponsored.
Where do I go after that?
Go to the moon.
Go to the backyard and roll one up.
All right, I wasn't expecting it to take that kind of turn.
You were gonna say, speaking of Matt Riddle.
Speaking of Matt Riddle,
and we went off in a tangent on Wii.
Yeah.
So it was kind of on top.
It was on topic. I'll give it that. Matt Riddle last night on Raw took the place of a Randy Orton in this triple threat match, to the last chance to get into the Money in the Bank match. AJ with Riddle and now holy God, and McIntyre, who actually won the match.
Holy God is right.
30 minutes long. They gave them the time. The match itself was really good. The storytelling in it was very good because you were going to beat Matt Riddle. At least you made him look tough. You made him leave, come back. It builds that character with him more. But I don't want McIntyre in this match. I really don't. And I think I'm done with McIntyre. I've said this over the last month or so.
I've got my Kenny Omega syndrome.
But that's the thing. He's a hell of a lot more talented than Kenny Omega is. It's not that.
Woo! It's just, that's going to get the people pissed off.
It's just that...
Woo!
I think his time as champion is done. I think he can move on to something different. I don't need him in the title.
I don't see how you have AJ Styles. Was he saying you're fired or you're fired? What's the metaphor here?
What were you saying?
What?
What were you just saying?
You're fired?
Before that.
You're on fire?
Yeah. No, before he put the fire up, you started to say something and then you got lost.
Oh, how do you have AJ Styles to potentially get into a ladder match and not fulfill that? Like, come on now. Styles should be in a ladder match.
I agree.
Styles should be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Styles is like your workhorse. Like, Styles could be put in any match and make it that much better. Not so much. I mean, I'm kind of fucking biased here because he's the same as Omega. I'm not invested in an AJ Styles promo, but yeah. I like him that much better as a wrestler and in ring. I don't know. There's just something that I like about AJ Styles, maybe because I've watched him longer than Omega.
If you reversed AJ Styles and Kenny Omega right now and switched,
I would still be more invested in AJ Styles as
Are you sure?
As AEW champion?
If Kenny Omega was wrestling the same way as AJ Styles is now, because it's a cookie cutter system, he's not that much different. Like, he has his signature moves, but for the most part, he wrestles cookie cutter just like the rest of the WWE. If Kenny Omega comes in and all he adds is the V trigger, and he adds these different things, and then just wrestles himself, I think you're liking Omega more.
I don't think he's talking there. I don't think he's trying. I think him having creative freedom and him.
Yeah.
I don't think that's good for him.
That's what I'm saying. So if he was in the AJ Styles role, you actually...
I don't know. I couldn't say that, but I still think I would like AJ Styles as AEW champion more than Kenny Omega. Because I like AJ Styles' personality better than Omega's.
I got to jump in here. First,
Sure, why not? Just stop sitting back on your ass.
Well, I was muted. That's why. I was
Did
saying
you mute
things,
yourself? Oh, okay.
and I was saying hot take with the lighter, and then I realized I've been muted because Jen got a phone call. So
Have another
I've been
420
talking for
rolling
like
pager.
I've been talking for like 3 minutes and didn't even realize.
Oh, okay.
No, neither
but-
do we.
So the video's going to be cool because we're talking to each other, and now when we watch this, you're going to see Bill mouth moving the whole time, but we can't hear a word you're saying.
I'm dubbing over it.
Oh God.
I'm
So,
dubbing over that
One
bad.
thing I did want to interject is maybe AJ Styles didn't want to be in the ladder match because he's
old.
reaching towards the end of his career. He didn't want to risk.
Or
He
they
has
just
been saying that he's been trying to like lessen as much, and that's partially why Omos
know.
was involved.
I don't think you can lessen during let's face it, this is their 5th biggest pay-per-view of the year. This is what they dubbed their 5th biggest pay-per-view. I don't think you can lessen at that time. Like, you can lessen towards, like, Hell in a Cell, lessen towards tables, ladders, and chairs,
Elimination
Chamber, even. But, I mean, if you're going to put... I get it. McIntyre, Styles, you could both arguably put them in the title picture at any point in time. But I think Styles edges out McIntyre in interest when it comes to a ladder match.
Yeah, well, the more athletic, the one he's able to fly. I mean, the phenomenal forearm. Like, yeah, of course he's.
I think he puts together a better match though than McIntyre.
I mean, yes and no. Like McIntyre, when you put a Sheamus McIntyre in and just let them go, I could watch an Iron Man match, although they'd be dead by the way that style is. But I think McIntyre has it. It's just, again, like I said, I think he's just getting stale. And I think they're just some different storyline. Give me something new.
He might just be getting overexposed.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
He's been against Bobby Lashley for what, the past 5 pay-per-views, 6 pay-per-views?
Yeah.
And the best one was with Strowman, and they let him go.
Yeah.
Oh, like immediately after.
Yeah.
It's like, it was great showing. Like, this is like championship caliber wrestling from you, but we got a future endeavor of you.
Yeah.
Better luck.
Did you
next
see
time.
what he looks like now, by the way?
Yes, I
No.
saw his
Shaved
Instagram post.
beard off.
He shaved his beard off,
Yeah.
He clean shaven, completely gone.
so he looks like
He
Otis.
He looks 50 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, he's haggard, or is
Yeah.
he just 50 years old?
No.
I don't know.
He's not 50.
He's got to be over our age. You think?
Yeah, he is.
He's what?
He's over our age.
Is he in 40?
He
He must
is
be like 38.
37.
I was gonna say 37.
Okay.
So he
so not
he
that much
shaved
older.
his beard and he looks like George the Animal Steel.
Maybe that's going to be his new gimmick wherever he wrestles. He's going to be the son of George
I don't
the
think he's
Animal.
doing wrestling anymore. He said that he was trying to explore other avenues.
Good for him.
Maybe he's going to go on Ocean Avenue
And look, and maybe he actually
or Electric Avenue.
keeps his word and really doesn't wrestle for anyone except Vince McMahon.
Braun had to walk down to Electric Avenue.
This show is
Until you
officially a
take it
throwback because we
higher.
now have Joe singing
What
again.
was that about? Take it higher? Do I need to break out the RVD rolling papers again?
No, last time you did that, you muted yourself and you didn't know.
Yeah, true.
Because I used the papers.
I know. I think,
Well aware of that fact.
I think that was already implied at this point.
Oh, we have anything else?
Did we have anything to begin with?
Not really, no.
No.
So,
Like I said, we were going to pull it out of our ass.
It got to the point where you guys had nothing enough that you reached out to bring me on.
yeah, exactly.
To include on the nothing that you guys started with.
Well, I mean,
We
look.
like to think of it as we had this perfectly planned, and we were going to bring you on, we were being nice, and he fucking turns it back on us and says, we just called him because we had nothing.
He's not wrong.
I mean, yeah, he's kind of right,
Hey,
but we needed
now,
something to add to our
granted-
nothing.
Granted, that's
We needed
not
more
really
nothing.
a bad thing because you guys now have a podcast about nothing.
That's
Yada
true.
yada yada.
That's true. Thank you for
plug.
the plug.
Actually, might be fairly successful. Who knows?
Yeah. So anyway, we haven't addressed this on our show because we always have people on. So we started another podcast. It is Yada Yada Yada, a show about nothing. And, of course, me and Joe are your hosts, but we have another host. Our buddy Derek Fuller joins us. And literally are talking about nothing. It is a show about nothing. We're not making this up.
I like to think of it as if Seinfeld were continued today,
Yes.
those are the topics that they would probably... Like, it would be something like that.
Yeah, something in an episode. So, look, if you like Seinfeld, even if you didn't like Seinfeld, you just want to hear something about everyday life that you may find
Interesting, or you
Interesting.
might have an opinion that's different from mine or Larry's or Derek's.
yes. Definitely join us.
It's definitely not mine, though. You're going to have the same opinion as me and not them, because I am the voice of reason.
So when are we doing the special episode where you guys show me my first episode of Seinfeld?
Wait, what?
Oh, man.
You haven't seen an episode?
You said you did.
I think I've seen a couple parts of episodes
Oh, man.
here and
I'm
there.
not doing that.
No. Yeah, no, I'm speechless.
I'm not
I don't
gonna.
know what
No,
to say.
no.
I don't know
I'm
what
not
to say.
gonna bring you on the show to show you an episode of Seinfeld.
All right, so anyway, to the point.
You made me drop my phone.
If you want to join us, if you like our content here, you want to check us out there, it's at Yada Yada Show on Twitter. Same thing on Facebook. We are on YouTube. We are on Google Podcasts, Spotify, working on iTunes. Of course, Apple being difficult endlessly. Is not ready yet. So that hopefully within the coming days will be on there. So our first episode is up. Check that out. Linktree.com/Yada Yada Show as well. All the links are there. Facebook, Twitter, all the ways you can listen and watch on YouTube. And don't forget, if you watch us there, like, subscribe, leave a rating, just like you're going to do after you're done watching and listening to this show, and help us out. So we hope you enjoyed the show.
Maybe this wasn't the best show to do that, because maybe they won't go on and like and subscribe. If that's the case, do the opposite of what you're about to do for this show and like and subscribe.
Take a look at our back catalog and then like and subscribe. So we hope you enjoyed the show. And that definitely means I am definitely done. So thank you so much, and we hope to talk to you soon.
Larry's using the papers too.
Everyone enjoy the show.